You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 160.1, our daily report on all things Central Indiana sports and a little bit of important national sports news.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we bid you a heartfelt thank you. Today is January 26, 2025. It's a Sunday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you from Lebanon today, Lebanon, Indiana. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. The Super Bowl is set. IU suffered another excruciating loss, and we'll have the local girls basketball sectional matchups for you. And of course, we'll have much, much more on the girls sectional draw and pairings and all that throughout this week and next week, starting on Tuesday morning, as Michelle Garman and I break down the sectional brackets, name the favorites, talk about the games we're looking most forward to, everything like that. And we will also talk to all the coaches about their sectional draws for Tuesday's girls basketball week in review. You should probably expect that late Tuesday or early Wednesday. We'll be talking about girls basketball so much over the next month that you'll probably get sick of it. Probably not. But before we get to all of that, please go like, subscribe, or follow us. We are on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and YouTube. Please subscribe, follow, or like so you don't miss a single segment of the Central Indiana Sports Report. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs going for the NFL's first three-peat since the 1960s, the first in the Super Bowl era, when they face the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59. The matchups are set after the Eagles blitzed Washington 55-29, and the Chiefs once again got past the Buffalo Bills 32-29. It's the fourth straight AFC championship for Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Chiefs, and their sixth Super Bowl appearance in the last 7 years. With a win, they'd have 4 Super Bowl championships in 6 years, tying the record set by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 70s. In Sunday's win, Mahomes threw for 245 yards and a touchdown and ran for 2 more scores. The Eagles forced 4 turnovers and got 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 passing from quarterback Jalen Hurts in the blowout win over rival Washington. The Eagles outscored Washington 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Will Rutherford and I talked about both games on episode 159.5. Will Rutherford reacts to the NFL Conference Championship games, which was released on late Sunday night, about 15 minutes after the Bills-Chiefs games ended. The Chiefs and Eagles met in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Kansas City won that one 38-5. That's what they do. They win close games. Kickoff for Super Bowl 59 is set for 6:30 Sunday, February 9th. Of course, Will and I will be talking about that a lot between now and then. The game is being played in New Orleans this year, and it's on Fox. Frustration is boiling over in Bloomington. IU lost for the 4th time in 5 games, each one seemingly more agonizing than the next. On Sunday, the Hoosiers led Maryland 78-74 with 28 seconds left, but Maryland concluded the game on a 5-0 run, including Rodney Rice's three-pointer with 7.5 seconds left. IU then failed to get off a good shot in the final 7.5 seconds, and IU fans let the team hear about it by showering them with booze. 4 of Indiana's 5 starters scored in double figures, led by sophomores Mackenzie Mbako and Miles Rice, who had 16 points apiece. Rodney Rice led all scorers with 23. IU is now 14-7 overall and 5-5 in the Big Ten, and once again squarely on the NCAA bubble. Maryland is now 16-5 overall and 6-4 in the Big Ten, tied in sixth with Illinois. Michigan State is 8-0 in league play, followed in the standings by 8-2 Purdue and 6-2 Michigan. Before we get to the girls' sectional draw, will you do me a favor? Please tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. We're growing fast, but we would like to grow even faster. The best way to do that is word of mouth. We will be forever grateful. All right, we start in Class A and work our way up, and we start at Tri Central for an 8-team, 4-night sectional. On Tuesday, 3 and 16 Cowan will take on winless Westdell in the 6 o'clock quarterfinal. By the way, these games are Tuesday, February 4th, Wednesday, February 5th, Friday, February 7th, and Saturday, February 8th. The Blackhawks and Warriors will also play Tuesday this week. In the second game of the Tri-Central sectional, Tri-Central will take on 11 and 7 Daleville. The Broncos won 46-22 at Tri-Central in the first game of January. In Wednesday's half of the bracket, 12 and 7 Northfield will battle 5 and 15 Southwood, and 12 and 9 North Miami will take on 15 and 6 Southern Wells. Seems like a wide open sectional with at least 5 teams capable of winning it. Tuesday's winners will play each other, and Wednesday's winners will play each other in Friday's semifinals at 6 and 7:30. The championship is scheduled for Saturday at 7. The sectional at Anderson Prep is a 6-team sectional and also seems to be wide open. 13 and 8 Anderson Prep, probably the sectional favorite for the first time in program history, opens Tuesday, February 4th against 11 and 9 Tinley, also seemingly a contender. The Jets would then play 4 and 6 Liberty Christian in the semifinal on Friday. APA is 2-0 against Liberty this year, but the last one was a 46-41 overtime win on January 9th. 11 and 10 Indiana Deaf is likely to come out of the other half. Liberty Christian just beat the Deaf Hoosiers 57-44 on January 21st. We have 3 great sectionals in 2A in our area, sectionals 38, 39, and 40. We'll start with sectional 38 at Lewis Cass, and it features 2A number 15 Oak Hill and 17 and 4 Wabash. It's a 6-team, 3-day sectional, Tuesday, February 4th, Friday, February 7th, and Saturday, February 8th. On Tuesday, the host 14 and 6 Kings face 1 and 19 Eastern. And then the sectional's top 2 teams, 19 and 2 Oak Hill and 17 and 4 Wabash, meet at 7:30. That should be a really good one. The winner of that one faces 14 and 6 Rochester in Friday's second semifinal. 9 and 11 Manchester also drew a bye and will face the Cass Eastern winner in the first game on Friday. The championship is scheduled for 7:30 Saturday, February 8th. The favorites at Sheridan are on opposite sides of the bracket. On Tuesday, the 4th, 14 and 8 Lapel takes on 5 and 16 Taylor, before 18 and 1 Sheridan plays 10 and 11 Frankton, which is 3 and 1 against the sectional field. The Lapel Taylor winner takes on 12-win Elwood in Friday's first semifinal. The Sheridan Frankton winner faces 2 and 18 Tipton in the second semi. The championship is scheduled for 7 o'clock on the 8th. The favorites at Alexandria also avoided each other until a potential championship game on Saturday. 2A number 2 Alexandria starts with 2 and 14 Burris at 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 4th. That's followed by 6 and 13 Eastbrook and 4 and 17 Madison Grant. Eastbrook beat Madison Grant twice this year, but both were fairly close games. The winner will face 17 and 3 Wapahani in Friday's second semifinal. The championship is Saturday the 8th at 7:30. In 3A at Norwell, also a 6-team, 3-day sectional in the 4th, 7th, and 8th. Marion drew 13 and 6 Norwell in the second quarterfinal on Tuesday. The winner gets 9 and 12 Mississinawa in Friday's second semifinal. On the other side of the bracket, 2 and 18 New Haven faces 1 and 17 Heritage. to see who will lose in Friday's semifinal against 18-2 and 6th ranked Belmont. That will be the first semifinal on Friday, followed by either Norwell and Marion versus Mississinawa. The championship for that one is scheduled for 7:30 on Saturday the 8th. In a 7-team sectional at Twin Lakes, Northwestern opens the sectional against 11-9 Peru, which has won 6 games in a row, in Tuesday's only quarterfinal. The following day, 7-15 Western takes on 2-17 Logansport, and the host Indians face 12-7 Maconaquah. 6-14 West Lafayette will play the Northwestern Peru winner before Wednesday's winners play Friday's second semifinal. The championship game is scheduled for 7:30 on the 8th. Another wide open sectional. Western and Northwestern definitely has to consider themselves contenders. Delta and Yorktown are among the contenders at Connorsville. Yorktown opens against 5-15 Newcastle. The Tigers beat the Trojans 46-25 on Friday. In Tuesday's second semifinal, 14-5 Delta takes on 5-15 Hamilton Heights. The Yorktown Newcastle winner will take on 14-7 Connorsville, the host and another one of the contenders in Friday's first semifinal. That's followed by either Delta or Hamilton Heights versus 9-11 Jay County. Saturday's sectional championship is scheduled for 7:30. Delta hasn't won a sectional since 1993. Yorktown hasn't won one since 2011. The 4A sectional at Mount Vernon is a 6-team sectional that features 3 15-6 teams. Pendleton Heights and Mount Vernon likely will end up the HHC co-champions, and Greenfield Central. And 3 NCC teams. Pendleton Heights got the best draw. The Arabians drew the bye into the semifinal round and will face either 2-19 Anderson or 7-12 Muncie Central in Friday's second semifinal. Mount Vernon will play either Greenfield or 10-11 Richmond, probably the sectional's third and fourth best teams, in Friday's first semifinal. The championship is scheduled for 7:30 on Saturday the 8th. The sectional at Harrison is a 4-team sectional. Kokomo opens with 20-3 and 15th ranked McCutcheon in the second semifinal. That's after 15-5 Jeff versus 6-15 Harrison at 6. The championship is scheduled for 7 on the 8th. Again, we'll talk about all the girls basketball postseason this week. Monday, Michelle Garman and I will break down all of the brackets beyond just those local ones. We'll also talk about several around the general area. And we will talk to all the coaches, as many as I can get a hold of, in this week's weekend review about their sectional draws. We have so much girls basketball coming up in the next 5 weeks, you will not believe it. But there's still some basketball to be played in the regular season for the girls, with some championships on the line. No games on Monday, but on Tuesday, Kokomo goes to Muncie Central with a chance to clinch a share of the North Central Conference, and Sheridan can clinch at least a share of the Hoosier Heartland Conference Championship when they host a pretty good Clinton Central team on Tuesday. Alexandria will likely clinch the Central Indiana Conference. They've already clinched at least a share. They'll probably clinch it outright Thursday when they host rival Madison Grant. A couple other big games without conference championship implications. On Tuesday, Frankton is at Mississinawa. Western goes to Tri-Central. LaPel goes to Wapahani in what should be a really good one between two teams considered sectional championships. Pendleton Heights will get closer to the Hoosier Heritage Championship with a game against Shelbyville. And Yorktown is at Greenfield Central in a game of potential sectional championship opponents. On Wednesday, Elwood looks for its 13th win of the season against Daleville. Then Pendleton could win the Hoosier Heritage Conference Championship on Thursday. When Yorktown visits, they will clinch at least a share with a win. We have a few boys' games on Tuesday. The headliner, Delta at Blackford on Tuesday. Both teams playing very well. Before a full slate on Friday, which includes Frankton at Elwood, Madison Grant at Oak Hill, Alexandria at Mississinawa, and Blackford at Eastbrook in the CIC, plus Hamilton Heights at Tipton in a big Hoosier Conference game. Marion goes to Anderson as the Indians try to rev up for a North Central Conference tournament, just getting started in conference play. Delta is at Wapahani for the second time in a couple of weeks with another chance to give the Raiders their first loss of the season. Pendleton Heights goes to Greenfield. Tri-Central hosts Delphi. Sheridan is at Taylor in a big Hoosier Heartland game. Lapel at Eastern Hancock. Lots of big games coming up this week. Also, Lincoln Fathauer should get to 1,000 points when they visit University on Friday night. We will also have some boys wrestling coverage this week as the sectionals get going on Saturday. Then we will have a full sectional roundup for all of our local sectionals on Sunday. And we will follow the wrestling tournament as it goes throughout, as we do with every postseason tournament. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate you. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. I love Susie.